Press the button, my friend.
The Out of Bounds Show is live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge in the Bank Plus studio.
Check it out.
Little Whiskey 61 in the last segment of the week. I know y'all are excited about the NFC and AFC championship games on Sunday. Got a full slate of college basketball today. SEC versus the Big 12, including Kansas at Kentucky, among other matchups. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Want to welcome in our friend Taylor Hicks, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, restaurateur, and he joins us on the Patron Tequila guest line. Taylor Hicks, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Good morning. Working as a struggling musician for 10 years, I'll take all the urs that you can name off.
I don't believe that, by the way. I don't believe the struggling musician part.
All the years on the road and all those nooks and crannies that I played in the Southeast, I'll take all the urs you can give me.
I love it. How you been, bud?
I'm doing good. I'm up here in Nashville. Things have, I really do feel like at this point that as far as entertainment and touring entertainment and stuff, I feel like that we've, really this year, and just what I've seen with a lot of contemporaries of mine and stuff, I just feel like that the touring business is back for entertainers.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that the COVID cloud is not hanging over, all the promoters' heads. And, I feel like that we're back. And so the phone's ringing and I'm answering it.
You damn right. Taylor Hicks on the Out of Bounds Show. Singer-songwriter joins us. A little Whiskey 61 here as we wrap up a Friday. We got to know Taylor a couple of years ago. Richard Greenlee introduced us. Taylor's been kind enough to come over here and play and do it right. And he's in Nashville today. How long are you in Nashville?
I'm in Nashville until next Friday. I've got a show up in Detroit. But what's really cool is that I've put together a little something over in Greenwood, Mississippi, in April 7th, Good Friday. I'm going to be doing something there for the municipality of Greenwood and all those really great folks over there. And I know Richard has been involved in putting this together. And I didn't realize how beautiful it was over there, as far as right there on the river, and they got that little downtown area. And I'm really excited to go over there and perform. So little Mississippi love in the spring over there in Greenwood.
I love that. Good Friday, April 7th, Greenwood, Mississippi, one of the best Delta towns. Taylor Hicks, Good Friday, April 7th in Greenwood, Mississippi. So where's before we get into the Armed Forces tour and some of that, where's your favorite spot to have a drink and get something to eat in Nashville?
Well, there's a couple places. I mean, there's things open up every week, but I'm old school. I mean, I came here when I was about 21, and I left when I was about 20. I got shown the door pretty quick as a songwriter in my early 20s, and I had to go back to getting out on the road. But I like all the classic places. I mean, there's a great steakhouse called Sperry's that's over in Belmead, and it's just old school. And I'm kind of an old school Nashvilleian to a certain degree. And then I tell you what though, there's a really cool steakhouse up here, Hall's Chop House, and Hall's is over in Charleston. Billy Hall and that family are really great restaurateurs. They've got a really great bar, and kind of a little tucked away bar. It's got a little TV in it. You go and watch the games. They got a great steak. There's things popping up everywhere, but I tend to lean towards more of the classic places that have been here in town a long time.
Dude, you just nailed it. I've been to Hall's Chop House in Charleston, South Carolina. And
there's some Mississippi connections for sure over there at Hall.
Yeah, Billy Hall went to Mississippi State. They're big-time restaurateurs in Charleston. As you said, they now have a Halls in Greenville, South Carolina, and Nashville, and I'm sure they're going other places. That's so cool. We had an amazing meal there a couple of years ago. Billy's a good dude. But, hey, we had the great steak debate on our show earlier in the week. And how do you like your steak cooked, Taylor Hicks?
I like it medium rare, just depending on what kind of meat we're talking about. But I tell you, there's I don't know if you've ever been to a Morton Steakhouse, but they got a Cajun ribeye at Morton's. And when I was on tour, we would always try to, when we were in a big town or something, we'd always try to pull up and try to go eat in Morton's. I got a really, really cool baseball story for you. I was in Cleveland, Ohio, and I was performing there, and the New York Knicks were in the hotel, and and the New York Yankees were in the hotel, and Carrie Underwood was in the hotel. So it was like everything all converged on this hotel in Cleveland, and there was a Morton Steakhouse in there, and it just so happened that the Cleveland Indians they got rained out. So we walked in, and it was like a picture. It was like one of those Norman Rockwell paintings or something. And this was probably about 10 years ago. So about 8 years ago. So you had Derek Jeter. You had every Yankee that had occupied every booth in the Mortons. And it was like dark, and all you could see was their faces. It was really classic.
That's awesome.
It was a really classic. I mean, it was like, Jeter had his own booth, and I mean, there were so many. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I walked in, and but that Morton's Cajun ribeye, it's dry aged, it's Cajun. I think they do it for about 30 days, and Morton's is a great chain too. But I like that Cajun ribeye. Medium rare is my choice.
Me too. Taylor Hicks on the Out of Bounds show. He'll be here in Mississippi April 7th, Good Friday, in Greenwood, Mississippi. Taylor Hicks joins us on the Patron Tequila guest line. Tell me about this Armed Forces tour in March, Taylor.
It's my first one. It's I've done a lot of different bases and a lot of different things for our servicemen and women over the country in the last years, but this one's special because this will be the first time that I truly go overseas. We're going to UAE. We're going to Qatar, Djibouti. We're doing about 15 or 16 bases. I leave March 2nd. I'm super excited to go over there. I've never been over to that part of the world, and I'm really thrilled to be a part of this tour. I can't think. I think it'll be an eye-opening experience for me because I think it'll just even reiterate why we need to take care of our servicemen and women and our first responders in this country. It's almost, it's interesting. It's like I always think of that sometimes as I tour and I meet, servicemen and women. It's almost like every American should go over to a base overseas and do some sort of residency there just to know what it's like for our servicemen and women to really get a good idea. I think it would work wonders for our country. But I'm excited to go over there and spend some time, play some Roadhouse music over there in Djibouti at some of the bases.
That is cool. Okay, so 15 dates overseas, Armed Forces tour. Taylor Hicks joining us on the Out of Bounds show. Man, that's going to be an amazing experience for you.
I'm excited. I might not have the jokes that Bob Hope had, but I definitely got some harmonica licks that are going to rival that. So it's just me and my band. My band and I are just going. I think that there's some other artists that are kind of popping in and out. But yeah, it's just me and the band, and I couldn't be more excited to go over and play for those folks.
And don't you have a single about a Marine?
I do, yeah. 19, yeah. 19's was on my last record, and it's about a fallen soldier. And if you want to spin it, spin it. It's great. A lot of people have responded to it. I know that I've played it for a lot of different bases, and it's kind of a tearjerker. People love it. I play it every show. I have all of our veterans stand up in the audience, and it means a lot to me. I had some family members serve, and it's kind of been around me, and it's just kind of a thing. So I take that ball and run with it for sure.
He is Taylor Hicks on the Out of Bounds Show, singer, songwriter, friend of the show. He'll be in Greenwood, Mississippi, April 7th, Good Friday. He's going to do 15 dates overseas for our military in March, Armed Forces Tour. And that's pretty amazing right there. So how many dates do you have booked for 2023 so far, roughly?
Between the privates and the publics, probably right now working off of about 75 to 100.
Damn.
And then that probably will build. Will build over the years, years time. But yeah, it's more closer to the 75 mark. But after it's all said and done,
that's exciting. Tell me about how much fun are you having with the Delta Funk Revival?
Wonderful, man. Those guys are awesome. They play in different bands. They've got a band called Hannaward Pass that some of the guys play in, and we had a blast when we played over at Dooley Hall in Jackson, and I might have had a little bit too much fun, but we had a blast. It's a really great side project for me. Richard's kind of putting the ball out there in some different places. It's just a really funky kind of offshoot of what I do regularly. We've got Patrick Smith plays organ, and obviously he's a famous piano and organ player, in Mississippi there and in the Southeast for years. It's a good group of musicians. I love doing side projects, and I think this one's got some legs, and I'm excited for us to get back together again and do it. It's a cool, and it makes sense. I think what we play and some of the funk and the soul and the blues, definitely fit that area, and fit Mississippi for sure. I almost, if we do it right, I could almost end up being the Pat Green of Mississippi, because Pat Green he's made a living playing every Texas Roadhouse for 25 years and made a great living doing it.
Damn right.
Hell, if I do it the right way, hell, I could be the Pat Green of Mississippi and just play funk and Delta Funk.
Hey, I think y'all found something. I think you and the Delta Funk Revival, I really do think that y'all have hit on something. The synergy and the chemistry's great. Taylor Hicks joining us on the Patron Tequila guest line. He's in Nashville for another week. Got a big year planned, 75 to 100 dates right now, even more on the way. And he will perform for our armed services overseas 15 times in March, which I think is amazing. He'll have all kinds of stories on that. And then April 7th, that's Good Friday. April 7th, he'll be in Greenwood, Mississippi, and that's the birthplace of America's music. Taylor, did you find with what happened 3 years ago, you traveled everywhere. You played in so many amazing venues and with talented people. But when it was kind of taken away there for a while, did you like other artists sit back and go, damn, I miss performing live?
Yeah. I think once you kind of realize that, that you weren't going to do it, and that basically, I'm such a live touring artist. Once that you never think about it. And I always like to tell people that, the interesting thing about the entertainment business and COVID, and I don't know if anybody's really dug into it a little bit yet, but there's a clause that's very synonymous with businesses and stuff that, every now and then, but there's a force majeure clause, and that's an act of God clause in entertainment contract. And what happened is that these entertainment contracts have a force majeure clause. Well, unfortunately, pandemics fall under the force majeure clause. And the interesting thing about the entertainment business and COVID, especially the touring arm or wing of the entertainment business, is that you get all these deposits. You get a deposit to hold the date and go perform. And then you obviously get the rest of your money when you perform the show and you get off stage and you move on. A lot of these artists and a lot of artists that, that are my buddies that are touring heavily and stuff, and even including myself, I mean, you get those deposits and you use that as income, current income in your business dealings. And, when that force majeure clause was enacted on some of these contracts, I mean, you had to give those deposits back. And that was the tough thing about entertainers and the touring business, is that, you get all these deposits for these, for holding the dates, performing, but in these act of God, situations, which, COVID was, you have to give that money back. And that was the hard part about. It wasn't necessarily, it's financially, it wasn't necessarily, at that point in time. But when you started realizing that some of these promoters and stuff had to get their money back, just like everybody, that was the toughest part. But yes, to answer the short answer is, yeah, it takes your breath away when you don't, you can't go out and work for the people.
Taylor Hicks on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. All right, let's go real quick with the games on Sunday. Who you pulling for? We've got 49ers, Eagles in the first game.
Yeah.
And Bengals, Chiefs.
I got a future bet on. Yeah, I got a future bet. As soon as last year, I had the last 3 years, I've had a future bet on San Francisco winning the Super Bowl. I think San Francisco's defense is salty enough to be able to go in there and steal a win at the Eagles. The Eagles are completely healthy. I was just looking on there, and they've got, I think that they're at 22 men on their roster. Their whole roster's healthy. That's tough to come by in the NFL at the end of the year. But I do think San Francisco with DeMeco Ryans, that team. It's very eerily similar to some of those Alabama teams of the past, if you look at it and you watch them play. Great linebacking core, a hard-hitting safety. I'm a big fan of defense. I always have been. I think San Francisco can go in there and sneak a win.
And Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes for the nightcap. What do you think?
I like it's tough. I think Joe Burrow's got the hot hand. As much as I love Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, it's funny. I was watching Mahomes in practice, yesterday, and they trotted him out to the podiums, and then, but he had some really baggy sweatpants on, and I thought to myself, if you've got a right ankle that's taped, you could take the left one and put some baggy sweatpants around it. You could run for 5 or 10 minutes if you wanted to. I don't know. I'm putting my money on Burrow. I think Cincinnati goes back to the Super Bowl.
All right.
And I think San Francisco. I'm hoping San Fran wins.
We'll leave it there. Taylor Hicks right here on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. He'll be playing in Greenwood, Mississippi, April 7th, Good Friday. And he and his team have booked over 70 dates for 2023, which is exciting. And then he's got the Armed Forces Tour overseas. Really, really cool. Can't wait to hear about that. 15 dates in March, among other things. Well, Taylor Hicks, I hope Nashville goes well over the next week. Enjoy the football games on Sunday. And I hope to see you in Greenwood, April 7th.
Bo, it's always great to talk to you all. Love coming over there in Mississippi. I'll have to come in the studio. I've got some exciting things around the corner I can't talk about yet, but you'll see me real soon, and you guys have a great week. Thanks, buddy.
I'm holding you to it. Taylor Hicks, Whiskey 61. That was great. Some live music and some stories. Singer-songwriter and entrepreneur and a super dude. Taylor Hicks, of course, American Idol winner. He's got some really, really exciting projects and things going on, and we appreciate him joining us on the Patron Tequila guest line. All right, we'll wrap it up. Blake said I got to hit the giveaway one more time. We are giving away a $100 bottle of Russell's Reserve Bourbon, private barrel selection. And here's how you enter to win. Go to whiskey61.com, and we have a post. It's the one on the top. It's pinned. The Great Steak Debate. Just tell us how you like your steak cooked. It must be 21 or older to win the bottle. You can post whatever. But the Great Steak Debate, tell us how you like your steak cooked, and we're going to pick a winner. So far, we've had, I don't know how many replies, 70-something this week, which is pretty awesome, and we appreciate it. Whiskey 61, Southern Leisure, I think somebody said earlier this week. But, yeah, it's driven by bourbon, cigars, good food, and all that kind of stuff that we talk about. Whiskey61.com. Go ahead, jump in, and post. You'll have to register. You have to become a member, confirm via email. You don't ever have to post again, or you can start a new post after that. We actually want people to share their experiences, cigars, good restaurants, travel, and bourbon, and so on, boutique tequila, whatever it is. But it'll be heavy cigars, though. Vinos, welcome, even live music for Richard Greenlee. But share whatever you want on whiskey61.com. You'll get it pretty quick. If you don't, you can exit stage left once you go there. Blake did throw up. He did post. Let me get it. Oh, here it is. So Blake posted the ribeye that he cooked last night. And it was in a cast iron skillet with compound butter.
That's right.
Which is amazing. He put it on a bagel from Beagle Bagel earlier this morning, and I was like licking my fingers. Yeah. It was so damn good.
If it makes a plain bagel taste good, it'll be pretty good on steak, eh?
And I got to be honest with you, that the color
looks good, doesn't it?
It looks great,
dude. I got such
that
a
is
good
a
sear.
really, really well done. Not well done. That is a perfect medium rare.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
And that sear is like. Dude, I nailed this one last night.
Yeah.
It was a good one. They don't always go that way, but this one went that way.
Awesome. Mike Hilton's on the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's true.
Ben Brown. A.J. Brown's on the Eagles. We have Big Play Slay on the Eagles. Willie Gay, Chris Jones. I know I'm missing some.
Fletcher.
Yeah, Willie Gay, Chris Jones with the Chiefs. Fletcher. What an amazing experience for these young men. Final four of the NFL. It doesn't get any better. NFC, AFC championship game. And it needs to stay all in home stadiums. It does not need to go to neutral fields like the NFL is talking about. No. That's what makes it it's electric when you got the Kansas City Chiefs fans and the Eagles fans going crazy. Don't take that away from NFL fans. Enjoy the weekend. Have a good one. We'll be back here Monday. Tom Luganbill at 7:30 to break down the NFC and AFC championship game. See ya.